welcome to Blue Seamus. I have one question for you all today. One word, one letter. Why? Just why? Of course, I'm referring to the live-action Moana, which has actually just had its teaser trailer released this week. And again, I just ask why. Who asked? It's probably a lot of people, actually, and that's kind of where I'm going with this. Who are these movies for? Because genuinely, whenever this comes up in like real life and I have a conversation about this in real life, the conversation will always go like, oh yeah, I don't really like the live-action remakes, I don't really pay any attention to them. But then people watch it, so many people watch them. A lot of these movies have made over $1 billion, most of them outgrossing the originals at the box office. Like, The Lion King made $1.6 billion. Beauty and the Beast made triple the animated version, and Aladdin made double its animated predecessor. Like, what? I don't get it. I really just don't get it. I don't know if I can say that enough, but like, that is the point. I don't get it. Who is the audience for this? Like, I don't even know how to describe it, but they are just worse. They have taken an old movie, a better movie, and made it in live action. And for some reason, that makes people want to see it. And I don't really want to pick on Moana entirely, but Moana is significant for me specifically, because for years, I have blamed the success of these movies on millennials. I feel like it was all millennials' fault, like everything is, it's always millennials' fault, right? And I thought, like, yeah, they remade the entire Disney Renaissance in live action, and the millennials who grew up with those movies went back to see them in cinemas, because, to be fair, like, it's cool to see your favorite movies growing up in cinemas. I personally have seen Toy Story in cinemas, because that was one of my favorite movies growing up. I didn't get to see it in cinemas because I wasn't born when it came to cinemas, but I loved it as a child on VHS, and I saw it in a performance where they did like live music with it, with an orchestral accompaniment, and it was beautiful, it was amazing, it was such an experience, and I loved that. And I always just kind of gave the benefit of the doubt that these movies, these live action remakes, were just like that for a certain type of millennial who really loves The Lion King and therefore wanted to see a worse version of The Lion King where the lions look like this. And on top of that, they made a prequel spin-off to that movie revolving around Mufasa. And it also just made an insane amount of money. So again, I guess there's no rhyme or reason to it whatsoever. People are just happy to see a live action version of animated characters for some reason. I should clarify, to be fair, that The Lion King and the Mufasa prequel are both animated movies, but they are animated to look real. They're like CGI movies. And for some reason, that makes people want to see them more. Does this all just come down to a lack of respect for the animation medium? Because that is the only reason I can think why these are doing so well. Like, do people genuinely just hate animation this much that they would rather see a lion look like this than a lion look like this? Is that genuinely it? Because I'm telling you, if that is your opinion on the matter, you are wrong. Just so wrong. This is so much more emotive and beautiful and better in every single way. And I cannot understand for the life of me why you would choose to watch this over that. Another thing, I guess, is that there's a level of intrigue to seeing these classic characters being played by like the new hot actors in the world. I meant hot as in like popular, not like physically hot. Not that any of the people I'm going to mention here aren't. Beauty and the Beast. It was kind of interesting to see Emma Watson play Belle in Beauty and the Beast. I think Robin Williams' performance as the genie was completely untouchable, but it was kind of interesting getting to see Will Smith's take on the character. The Lion King has one of the most insane casts for a movie I've ever seen in my life. Like, genuinely look it up. It is so crazy, and it brings a level of intrigue to the movie. Now, some of them haven't done as great. Obviously, like Dumbo didn't really do that well. Snow White actually flopped. And I thought when Snow White came out, maybe, just maybe, we were finally done with this whole thing. Like, we weren't going to go see these movies anymore. We'd all come together collectively as a society and agreed, yeah, we don't like these live action remakes. I don't know why we went to see the first few, but here we are. We've made an agreement that these aren't good and we're never going to see any more of them, right? And then came Lilo and Stitch. Now, I didn't have any expectations for this one to start because Lilo and Stitch originally wasn't that critically acclaimed. It didn't win any Academy Awards, didn't do that well at the box office. I think it made $270 million or something. Like, this is not like a hugely successful Disney project, as all things are considered. It has like gained a cult fan base and everything since it's come out, and I think specifically people my age have really loved this movie, and Stitch has become like a bit of an icon and a mascot. That was the word I was looking for. And, you know, if you were to rank, like, the top 10 Disney mascots in terms of, like, iconicness and, like, association with the Disney brand, obviously Mickey Mouse is first, but how far down does Stitch come on that list today? Because I think he's maybe in the top 3, like, genuinely. And I don't know who's second. Maybe he's number 2. Tinkerbell, I made most iconic Disney mascot. Okay, so Google's like the Genie, Donald Duck, Mickey Mouse, obviously, Stitch, Winnie the Pooh. I didn't think of Winnie the Pooh. That's up there, to be fair. I don't think of Disney when I think of Winnie the Pooh, though, as much as I do with Stitch. What do you have after that? Cinderella? I mean, Cinderella's an iconic name, but, like, is she a mascot in the way Stitch is? I don't think so. I'm on a real bad tangent here, aren't I? And this is not the point of the video at all. My point is that, yes, maybe I underestimated the Lilo and Stitch live-action remake for various factors that I've kind of just touched on there. Like, millennials aren't going to be as big on this film because they were a bit older when it came out, and also because I didn't think Lilo and Stitch was a huge success when it originally came out. And then Lilo and Stitch, the live-action remake, made $1 billion at the box office, making it the 5th live-action remake to achieve that. Like, that literally means that Lilo and Stitch's live-action is one of their most successful movie franchises of all time. And it goes against every reason I thought people had to see these movies. I, again, don't know anyone who has seen this Lilo and Stitch movie. But again, it has done so insanely well that there must be a massive audience for this that I'm just not familiar with. And I guess that brings us back to Moana, because this is one of the most confusing ones to date. Firstly, Moana, at the time of the release of this movie, will not have even been out for a decade. This isn't even like a nostalgia trip at this point, where we're like going back and like re-releasing a movie from 30 years ago that people grew up with. People who grew up on Moana are still children. Like, genuinely, if you were 4 when that movie came out, you are only 14 today. Let's see what this is all about. So, it's the same movie. It's always the same movie! Yep, these are scenes from the original movie, I get it! Oh wow, and she did the thing, the big shot, and the orchestral version of the How Far I'll Go. This movie, by the way, for what it's worth, is literally just gonna be a CGI movie around, like, the sea. Like, the sea isn't actually moving magically like that, you know that, right? Like, it's gonna be like the Lion Kings, where everything is animated, except they've just placed a few real people in there, one of whom is literally The Rock. This is just like, what's the point? The whole thing of Maui's character, by the way, anyone who's seen the movie will know that this character was written for The Rock to play him. Like, everything from his mannerisms to his tattoos. I'm assuming Dwayne Johnson signing on to do this role was the first step in getting Moana made. I don't think they would have even made it if they didn't have him. Because, like, you couldn't have got someone else to do this role. And if that wasn't the case, then you'd have just had to make it a completely different character. So yes, obviously Dwayne Johnson is going to be playing Maui in the live-action remake. But then, at that point, it's just the same thing, except not animated. Like, I don't get it. The Rock is playing himself in a Disney movie. Like, that's not even like a joke at this point. You know, everyone says, oh, The Rock just plays himself in every movie. This time, The Rock is literally playing himself because they wrote a character, an animated character, a fun animated character that was based around The Rock and his personality. And now, they are literally making him play that character in live action. So he is literally playing himself. Maybe I'm missing it. Maybe I'm going to upload the video and people are going to be like, yeah, Seamus, you just don't get it. Like, this is the most excited I've been for a movie for years. Maybe you'd get it if they made like a live action Toy Story. For what it's worth, I don't think I would. Because why do you need a live action Toy Story? We already have a better Toy Story. But I don't need to see real people playing the characters to enjoy the movie. I can immerse myself in an animated movie. I don't know if that's just the problem. People aren't able to immerse themselves in animated movies. There's just like so much of a lack of respect for animation as a medium among people that I don't speak to and I don't know, because like that isn't the kind of person I know or speak to, and therefore like I'm just missing the massive amounts of people that want to see stuff like this because they just simply couldn't bring themselves to watch an animated movie as an adult. I don't know. Maybe that's why. But if that's the case, I just think that's so sad. It's so sad. What are you gaining from this movie? What does this movie bring to the table other than just suppressing animated movies more? And, like, yes, there is a real, like, genuine deeper point to this. That I genuinely think movies like this actively hurt the animation industry because it proves to Hollywood that people do not want to see animated movies, and therefore they put less money into animated movies. Animated movies stop coming out to cinemas because they are seen as movies for children. It's not respected as a medium that could be just watched by anyone. There are so many good things that are animated that aren't for children at all, and I don't get when people are just gonna wrap their heads around this, that like just because a movie can be for children doesn't mean it can only be liked by children. This is what confuses me, is that the comments are all mad about it. They're all saying everything that I've just said here. I'm basically just echoing a YouTube comments section in this video. And yet, this movie will almost definitely do well. And I'm not mad that it's making money. The money isn't the thing here. I don't really care if this movie makes money. It doesn't make a difference to my life that this movie makes money. The point is that if this movie is making money, that means there is a massive audience of people watching this movie. And I don't get where that audience is. I'm not calling conspiracy and saying that this is fake, that Disney are like buying cinema tickets and making it look like people went to see these movies. I believe that these movies are making money. You don't just fake Lion King making $1.6 billion despite the fact it looks so bad. And again, I don't know anyone that saw that and went, yeah, I want to see that. But something is off because I don't know who goes to see these movies. Where are you? Where are these people? Where are they coming from? Who are going to be the millions of people that are going to see Moana 2 this summer? Where are they? What are they doing? Are you watching this video right now? Can you explain to me? I just want to know. I'm not even trying to be mean or harsh or anything here. I just want to understand what about these movies is interesting or exciting to you. I'm not even trying to be condescending here. I just want to know. I'm kind of just reaching the point that I probably will never understand this because the comments could try and explain it, and I still don't think I'm going to get it. I just think this is harmful to the animation industry, and it's a shame, again, to see Disney doing this stuff. This movie isn't even 10 years old, and they are just remaking it, like, frame for frame, with basically nothing changed other than the fact there's a few people inserted into this movie. I'm sorry that Moana had to be the one I picked on, because, trust me, there are some other terrible ones out there, and this one hasn't even come out yet. Maybe it's going to be a fun movie. Sometimes they are fun movies, by the way. You know, the story is good. The stories that they're based on are there. They're good, you know? And the casts are also good. So, you know, it doesn't make for a terrible movie, but I just don't get why we're doing this. I think this genuinely just piles on to this lack of respect for the animation medium. And I'm a fan of animation, first and foremost. And again, I just don't get it, especially with this one. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. If you enjoyed this kind of like rant, complainy type video, then I guess I'll do more of them. If not, I probably won't, because the YouTube algorithm will be like, oh, that video didn't do well. You don't want to do that again. And that's how this works. You guys can pretty much control what I make. You know, if you never want to see me complain again and just want me to be endlessly positive, you can let me know, and maybe that's what you'll get.